Oh, hello everyone. What are you guys doing here? Oh, we're doing a Q&A video? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and answer some questions. Alright, so around a month ago, I opened up a poll asking you guys if you wanted me to do another Q&A, and the majority of you guys voted yes, so here we are. I'm really sorry for how long it took me to make this video in the first place. In general, just a lot of things have happened, mostly college, but we're here, we're going to answer some questions, and I will get to the Cold Steel 2 video eventually. Just a lot has been happening with college, and I already said this in the previous video, so anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in. Chrysalis asks, how many hours have you been playing Trails games, just so I know what to aim for? Oh no. Alright, so worth mentioning that this was only after a few replays of the games for the channel. I actually only started basically logging in around over 100 hours on each of these games after I started 100%ing them, which was around Trails to Azure. And even then, I don't think Cold Steel 1 initially was over 100 hours, although it definitely got close to it. It was pretty much the rest of the Cold Steel games, and to be fair, that's also logging in the time that I spent reading the books and talking to all the NPCs, of which I talked to every single NPC I could in Cold Steel 4 in particular. And Cold Steel 4 is at 160 hours, and outside of Reverie, which I guess ended up being longer, I just really had fun playing that game. Yeah, that's the only other example I can really think of. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Vash the Fox asks, do you like games like StarCraft 2 or Last Epic, those kinds of games? Okay, so I have never played these, so I kind of had to look these up. StarCraft 2 is an RTS, apparently, and I've never actually played an RTS before outside of, well, Heroes of Mana, and I did not have a great experience with this game, but yeah, that's the only experience I really have with the genre. And Last Epic actually looks like an action RPG from what I've looked up, and I've actually enjoyed a lot of top-down action RPGs. Granted, that was more of a slanted angle. That doesn't really matter. But yeah, I've never played it myself, but yeah, I like action RPGs, so hope that clears things up. Donuts asks, what are my favorite Trails YouTubers? Okay, so I'm not going to pick favorites because I think we all kind of go for different things, and I don't actually know too many Trails YouTubers, I feel. I think there's not even that many of us, for obvious reasons. That said, I do really enjoy watching Super Derek and Weapon CL and Kiseki Nut to a certain degree. Not all of his videos, but yeah, I really like what I've seen of Kiseki Nut. Yeah, I try not to watch too many other reviews unless it's like a game that like I already covered or it's one that I won't be covering for a bit. Just because I don't want to like plagiarize. Granted, everything I say is my own views. Just to clarify that 100%. So sometimes I'm a little more comfortable than some other people about that, but anyway, I also don't really want to watch too much about upcoming Trails games because I'm trying to avoid spoilers, generally speaking, so that's the other reason. That said, I do want to give a shout out to my friend GENMA'S. He actually has done some Trails reviews as well. If I wanted to give a personal recommendation just because I think he's a little underexposed, you can definitely check out his Trails in the Sky trilogy reviews. I think he did a really good job with those, and yeah, just show him some love. Anyway, speaking of Trails YouTubers, I got a few questions here from Cyrus Bright, and one of the questions he asked was favorite candy. Okay, so I think I tend to like a lot of sour candies, but I think whenever I go to the movies, I tend to go for Sour Punch straws a lot of the time, although they kind of change the flavors around, so that's not so much recently, but I don't know. I'm okay with a lot of candy. I don't think I necessarily have an actual favorite, but there you go. Now, Donna and Cyrus asked some very similar questions, so I'm kind of bundling them together here, but Cyrus asked, what is my favorite genre of music? Bonus points for video game music and non-video game music, and Donuts asked, what are my favorite bands? I really love rock music, but I do know that's a very broad genre in general, so I'm going to narrow this down for a bit and just kind of say that I really like a lot of prog rock and metal in recent years. It's definitely very informed by a lot of the video game music I like to listen to, but my favorite band I think is probably Stratovarius, and recently I've actually been listening to a little bit of King Crimson, which is pretty good chill stuff while I'm studying, I think. I really like their stuff too. Now that said, my favorite video game music. Okay, now this is a lot. I think my favorite game composers have shifted around a lot over the years, but I think my favorite one overall that has kind of been fairly consistent has been Motoi Sakuraba. He is known for doing Golden Sun, Tales of, Star Ocean, and Dark Souls. So many soundtracks in general. Dark Souls is the funny outlier, though, out of that bunch. I also just really like watching live performances of the guy. He just has a whole bunch of keyboards around him that he plays all at once, and he ends up playing most of the song by himself in most situations. It's really fun to watch in video form, and I would actually really like to see him in person. If you want to listen to any of his music on his own that's not so much a soundtrack, I really recommend his arranged album of Shining the Holy Ark. I really like listening to this every once in a while. It's really fun, and if you like prog rock, I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's 3 in the morning again here. Just letting you know that I missed a very important question in the batch. So I'll just go ahead and just slap this into the video now. So the question is, hey, where'd the channel name come from? Well, this is actually a really fun one. Basically, I did a web comic. So at one point I wanted to do manga, actually. If you guys don't know, I do a bunch of artwork. And so the manga I was going to do was called Song of Rebirth, and that comic actually is available technically. I only got 3 chapters in, though, in terms of the good version, quote unquote. But the main character of that manga that I made, this was back in like middle school, I called it Genma at the time. And so when I went to make a online handle, the first time I ever went to make one, I just used the main character from my favorite comic thing that I was writing at the time. And so that's where that came from, and it just kind of stuck, I guess. But little known lore knowledge because not many people know I did a web comic. But yeah, and I talk about that in my Trails from Zero Ring of Judgment video. So there you go. Very. I'm gonna have this in the video. I just figured it'd be funny to just record this on my phone rather than that. And yeah. All right. Back to the main video.
Flame Guy 23 asks, what is your favorite series that you never get to talk about through streaming or videos? Okay, now this is going to be the big one. I really had to stop and think about this for a bit because I think I've talked about most of my favorite series on the channel or like done Let's Plays and all of that jazz to some degree. And so thinking about it for a moment, I think my answer is probably Gunvolt. That's a series that I really like. I did one Let's Play of the first Gunvolt game way back, but that said, I really like the Gunvolt series in general. I think they're really good games, and I really love how flashy they are, just how fast-paced they can be. They're kind of the successor of the Mega Man Zero games, if you guys have ever played those, which that is another series I don't think I really talk about in my reviews at all, but I've definitely done Let's Plays of all 4 games. I really like the Zero games, and I also did the ZX games. Anyway, I love AT Crates, love their stuff. But Gunvolt is really cool just because it kind of has a lot of that anime flair. The characters are pretty likable generally across the board. I also really liked Gunvolt 3. I know that's a bit of a hot take for a lot of the fan base, but Gunvolt 3 is a really fun game. I really like it a lot, and I think you guys should definitely check out the Gunvolt series in general. But Gunvolt 2, that one's my favorite one of the bunch. Outside of that, though, I do have other series that I really do enjoy that I would like to do some videos for, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure I want to. Like, Zelda and Metroid are kind of a case that, you know, I would get a lot more enjoyment if I felt like I had something kind of unique to say, and I feel Zelda and Metroid, especially Zelda, is a series that everybody really likes. I do have a video idea for Zelda, but that'll be a hard maybe. I'll just say that for now. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and just end off this section by just putting up my top 25 games on this like Topsters trend I did on Twitter. Anyway, here you go. Alright everyone, I'm afraid that's going to have to be it for this Q&A video. If you guys are wondering why I was wearing the outfit, I did a joke a while back when I did a Q&A where I kind of did a fancy man voice, and I just kind of figured I'd bring the joke into this. I don't know. I just kind of felt like being goofy today. That said, this was kind of fun making this video. I wanted to make something small for you guys since I have not been able to work on the Cold Steel 2 video for a while, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to probably make the Cold Steel 2 video the next video, but it's probably going to be a few months. You guys know how it is. But that said, thank you guys so much for supporting this video, for supporting these videos in general. Seriously, thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. I really hope you guys enjoy the Cold Steel 2 video when that gets done. Yeah, I'm going to be spending this next week working on my senior project and trying to work on the script for the Cold Steel 2 video, but actually recording for it probably will be a while, but I'll try and do my best. I'm going to see, we'll see what happens. But yeah, regardless, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys are all the best, and I will see you guys later. Take care and have a good day.